Where my girls at? Where my girls at? Independent, free spirit. Ooh, it's I'm serious. Where my girls at? We link up in a cool minute. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right.
Where my girls at? Where my girls at? It's going down. It's going down on this Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. I'm excited to be with you on this Friday. You guys are listening and you're watching. We got issues with the force of friendship on 9:10 a.m. The Superstation. We come to you Monday through Friday from 6 to 7 p.m. And when I tell you, we absolutely have a blast hanging out with you for 1 hour. You know, we're with the girlfriends. They're crazy, they're messy, they're nosy, they're bossy, and they're silly. They're all of that and more. But you know what? It takes all kinds to make the world go round. And I just love hanging out with my girlfriends, Sabrina, Caterina, and Gloria. And you know what? We apologize. Yesterday, we left our girl, Caterina, hanging out all by herself. She handled her business. I tuned in and I said, you know what? She don't need us. She did a super fantastic job with she and her guests. And I'm going to tell you, I just love listening to the show when I'm not able to be on the show because we bring such good topics. You know, we bring the light, the laughter, the lessons. And I'm telling you, we talk about a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Sometimes it's silly, it's crazy, but sometimes it's real silly. So it's gonna be really light today, even though there are some things in the news that we want to talk to you about, and we want your comments or if you have questions. So we absolutely love it when you call in. So write that number down. You should know it by now. 313-778 7600. Again, that's 313-778-7600. Well, you know, there are three of us today. Of course, yesterday was just one, but all three of us are present, and we're missing our girlfriend, Gloria Mayfield Banks. But if you watch her on social media, you know she is the world traveler. She and her husband, Ken, when I tell you, they don't let any grass grow under their feet. They are traveling the world. I mean, I saw her posted in this bikini. I was like, shut up. That's what, 60 looks like. She looks absolutely amazing. And so they're going to be posting and, sharing their amazing trip to Dubai and Korea. They're going here and there and everywhere. So we absolutely want you to follow them and check out all the amazing places that they're going, because I'm telling you, when I watch people travel, it really does inspire me. And I'm going to tell you something. There's traveling, and then there's traveling at the next level. You know, when we travel, I think the longest we've been away is maybe 12 days, maybe 14 days. But to say you and your man are traveling for 28 days, shut up. That's next level. So you know what? We all about, hashtag goals, get it inspired by each other. So you absolutely want to check out Gloria. We're going to be watching Gloria, and you know what? She's going to be in so many different time zones. She may be listening or she may be sound asleep. So she says she's going to try to, join us when she can, because she already know if you gone that long, she may come back and we're like, Gloria, you could only be a guest because we found a replacement. So she ain't crazy. She is not crazy. She's going to be listening in and potentially calling in every now and again. Well, my two girlfriends, Sabrina Goodwin Monday is in the house, and I know you're looking at her saying, that background looks awfully familiar. So I'll let her talk about her background. And then we have our girl, Caterina Harris Earl, on the West Coast, looking super fine in that white hat. You better go looking gangster, but fine, looking fine. So Sabrina, talk to us. What's going on? You're not at home, so tell us about where you are and what you're doing.
Oh my goodness, I wanted to make sure that I hit the show today because I've been having a lot of absences, and I'm like, if I get too many more unexcused absences, what is this, Caterina?
I said too many excused absences, you be going down. Okay. Your ratings go down.
Okay. You even got my husband in on it. Kimmy's like, well, we were going to go to dinner. We were going to do some things. Like, well, don't you have the show? Well, didn't you miss yesterday? Well, you okay? Okay, y'all even got Kenny Monday scared for me to miss a show. So
dinner 8:00. Okay,
the Baltimore area, and I tell you, talking about good girlfriends, talking about the force of friendship. I mean, Gloria and Ken are off to Asia on this incredible month-long vacay. And they moved out and we moved in. So we're at their home looking for a home. And so, yes, her famous background, you guys know she's always going live. And so I am in her closet with her beautiful background, with the studio set up. And, you just got to love it because Gloria has all the plugs, all the computers, all the lights. All you have to do is sit your butt down. And
something going to come up missing, Chris. Something going to come up missing.
No, and I'm making sure that I put everything back. But when I tell you the boys are here, Sydney's even going to come in this evening, take the train in. We were having such a good time. She's like, Mom, I think I'll take the train in. And so she's going to come in for dinner tonight and get back to New York tomorrow. So it feels good to be on the East Coast. Y'all pray that we have an address before we leave this weekend, okay? That is it. Pray that we have an address by the time we leave here. So it's all good. All is well. All is well. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everybody.
All right, Caterina, what's happening, girl? What's happening? Bring us up to date on what's going on with Pastor Anthony Earl. We've been praying for a brother.
I mean, for real. Well, I have to say, happy National Dog Day to my dog. He's about to have an outing and a treat. So those of you that have a dog, whoop, 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 we are dog lovers up in here. And happy Women's Equality Day. I mean, we got to give a shout out for the women. And thank you for the prayers for my husband. He is on a plane as we speak. Probably by the time we are getting off the show, hopefully my WhatsApp will be ringing. And when I tell you, it's been 4 days for him getting from the East Coast to the West Coast. He's headed to the capital, Kinshasa, of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. We are learning now that there are 2 Congos. It's a whole bit of history about why there are 2. One from Belgium, and the other one was, I think, English. And but when I tell you, he had to have a personal escort. One of the pastors had to get him a personal escort on the plane for him to get a seat. He said, wow, there's stories I can't tell you till I'm back stateside. Let's just say that. Okay. And people that have made a huge difference. So we know that God uses people. I know that it is, he said he had to work the heaven out of it. Okay. So I was like, whatever. I am so happy. I just kept texting him, but the plane he's on left like 4 hours later than it was supposed to leave. I mean, it's happening everywhere. And then you compound a third world country. It just makes it that much more amazingly great. So
Day five in Canada. Well, we can't wait when Anthony gets back. I'm sure he's going to have some amazing stories. So we absolutely want to have your husband, Pastor Anthony, to come on and talk to us all about the Congo, what's going on there, and, what he was able to accomplish while he was there, because, I mean, we definitely want to be in the know. Sabrina, somebody put in the chat, Miss Sabrina, you moving again? So let the people know. I know you mentioned it before, but say it again, because some of them are quite confused because they're so used to us saying that Sabrina is coming to us from Geneva on Lake Ohio. And now we no longer will be saying she's in Geneva on the Lake Ohio. So tell them where you're going and why you're going.
Oh my goodness, you guys, if you didn't know, Kenny, my husband, is taking a job, a coaching job at Morgan State University. We go Bears, go Bears, go Bears. It's the only HBCU with a wrestling program. And so now our young men who want to wrestle and attend an HBCU will have that choice. So we're excited. We will miss Geneva on the Lake. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna miss the cold. I'm not gonna miss the snow. So God answer prayers, y'all. God answers prayers, okay? I had one winter there, and that was enough. So we're excited about moving to the DMV. Yes, that's what it is.
Wow. So you guys, there you have it. Breaking news. She's moving to the DMV. She's going to be real. She's going to be Gloria's neighbor. So those two, oh, I can only imagine the shenanigans that are going to be happening when those two get together. Well, you guys, today is
Chris,
a fun day. Yes.
I was just going to say, we talked about packing. Sabrina could do a whole show about packing because that chick be moving. Okay. You got packing down, Sabrina. That's a whole show in and of itself. I mean,
Oh my
for real, because your house be set up quick.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, how many places have you moved, if you can recall, in your lifetime? You know, just traveling, kids getting a job. How many places?
Yeah. Eight moves, 6 different states. 8 moves, 6 different states in the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's a lot. And you guys, normally when you hear people say that, that's because they're part of the military. That is not Sabrina's story. It's just because, listen, wherever her man goes, that's where she goes. And it's just been really great that she has the kind of business that travels with her. So, wow, I can only imagine. 8 moves in 10 years. So hopefully you'll get some roots in the DMV and you're able to stay there for a while. We won't have to come back with another breaking story. Okay. All right.
That's the prayer. That's the prayer for sure.
That's the prayer. So you guys, we are keeping it a little light today. We're going to have some fun today. And so today we're going to be talking about things you should know, So we're going to, just throw out some things, whether it is history or Black history or just things about the government or science, some things if somebody asks you a question, there are some things you just should know. Like, for instance, you should know the capital of the state that you live in. If you do not know the capital of the state that you live in, you know what? Get some paper. We're going to teach you some stuff. That is something that you absolutely should know. And one other thing, you absolutely should know, who is the governor of your state? Who's the governor of your state? Who's the lieutenant governor of your state? Governor Gretchen Whitmer is the governor of the great state of Michigan, and the lieutenant governor is Garland Gilchrist. And so that is for the state of Michigan. But before we talk about that, you guys, we got to hit this. This was in the news. I didn't watch a whole lot of news today. I was at my hairstylist, Rodney, and we were talking, and he asked me, had I seen the YouTube video clip of the pastor in Alabama, Pastor Michael Jennings, that was arrested in his neighborhood because he was watering the plants of his neighbor. And they showed this, and I actually watched a clip from GMA, and TJ, I like him on GMA. He opened it up by saying this, and I said, wow, this was so interesting. He opened it up by saying this. He said, okay, I'll tell you exactly what he said after we come back from this break. When I tell you, it is just so sad, you guys, that, being Black, you can't just do basic stuff. You can't eat, you can't go to the bathroom, and you know what? Sometimes sleeping in your own bed can cost you your life. You're listening to We Got Issues with the Force of Friendship on 9:10 a.m. the Superstation. We're talking about things you need to know. We're going to take this break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the pastor, Pastor Michael Jennings from Alabama. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We are back. You're listening to We Got Issues with the Force of Friendship on 9:10 a.m. the Superstation. And today we're keeping it light. We're talking about things you should know. But before we tell you some things you should know, we want to talk about this story that was in the news the other day. And as I said, I was able to watch it today. And I just, it's just some stuff that just makes you shake your head. And you want to say, when is enough enough? When is these kind of scenarios going to change? When are Black people going to be treated like everybody else? But TJ from GMA, who's one of the hosts of GMA, he opened up by saying, driving while Black, walking while Black, golfing while Black, swimming while Black, napping while Black, staying in an Airbnb while Black, sitting in a Starbucks while Black, and sometimes sleeping in your own bed while Black, and now watering your neighbor's plants while Black. And so those of you, and Yolanda Richardson Hunter said, this story is such an embarrassment for all of us here in Alabama. But unfortunately, It is much too common. Some are even trying to justify the officer. So, you guys, those of you that did not catch the story, you absolutely can Google Alabama pastor arrested for watering neighbors' plants, and you can see the full story. But the bottom line is there is a pastor in Alabama. His neighbor went on vacation and asked him to take care of his plants, water them while they were gone. He lived directly across the street. He's out there watering his neighbor plant, and one of the neighbors, who just happened to be a white Caucasian woman, she sees him. Maybe she didn't know his car, whatever, and she calls the police because she didn't know, who he was, and she knew that he wasn't the person that lived in the house. So the police roll up and they ask him what he's doing, and he says, I'm watering my neighbor's plant, and they're on vacation. And then they ask for ID, and he, was like, "Why? I'm not showing you any ID. Why should I show you ID?" And so one thing led to another, and at the end of the day, they ended up arresting him, putting him in the car, even though his wife came back and showed his ID. And I said to myself, you know what? Some of these situations, you just wonder, what kind of training do these officers have? I mean, are you for real? Do you really think that somebody that it has ill intentions on breaking in somebody's house, do you really think that somebody that doesn't live in the neighborhood is going to think, let me go across the street, let me get a water hose and proceed to water the neighbor's plants? I mean, it is so ludicrous that they would even come. And then, to add insult to injury, because I know you guys want to jump in, the white woman comes and she says, "Oh, I feel bad. I'm the one that called the police. And yes, I can verify that he lives across the street." And so, of course, because it's her word and because she lives there, all of a sudden it's okay. I mean, when I tell you, it is so hard to remain calm and level-headed when you hear this kind of stuff, because it just goes through you when you hear these kind of things. So, I can go on and on. I don't want to belabor the point. Sabrina, Caterina, I know, Caterina, you didn't really hear about it. What's your thoughts, Sabrina?
I mean, you've said it all, Crisette. You said it all. Yolanda said it's a culture of ignorance. It's unfortunate that in 2022, this is where we are. You can add to that list bird watching. Remember, the guy was bird watching in the park, and you guys. It's just always something, and I don't know where we go as a society to cure these ills, because it's education, it's misinformation. I mean, misinformation has got to become education, that we have rights like everybody else. And just because of the color of our skin, we shouldn't be penalized. We shouldn't be subjected to scrutiny that because of the color of our skin. So it's just very, very unfortunate. And patience is growing thin. And we've got to do better as a society. We've got to do better.
We absolutely have to, because you know what, that, and it may sound crazy, but that easily could have escalated to a higher level, to this man being shot or whatever the case may be. The fact that, he was a pastor, and you know what, sometimes you're just sick and tired of being sick and tired of, show me your ID. I live across the street. I do not have to show you my ID. And some will say, well, he just should have, or his wife did eventually bring his license, but they still arrested him. But you know what? Come on. Police officers, common sense. To me, it's common sense. Even if he didn't live in a good deal, the plants, what, you're going to arrest them for using, somebody's water to take care of their property? And the neighbor should have investigated more. And if she was that concerned, she should have called the homeowner and asked them, before she escalated it. Because you know what? You can escalate something, and that person, which we've seen in the news, the one woman who was at her own house and somebody called and said, it was, they saw somebody go in the house, and she was watching. I don't know if you guys remember, she was watching her little nephew, and the police came in and shot in the window and killed her in front of her little nephew. And then the neighbor, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have said what I said. Well, you know what? Now that woman is dead. So sometimes, even neighbors, are biased, when it comes to, African Americans. So anyway, that's another whole show. And we're going to move on to something that is fun. So we're going to talk about things you should know that you probably don't know. But I want to give you the question, because we're going to end. We want to talk about this at the end. This was something that I saw on Instagram today, and I just want to know your take on it. Last week, Caterina talked about church girls, and then we did that on Thursday. And then on Friday, I continued the conversation, I think, about church girls. And so there's something else in the news, and it's about First Lady Gray. I think her name is Aventer Gray, and she was posted a picture of her in a beautiful blue bathing suit. It had some cutouts on the side, and she was on a yacht, and she was posing. So the question is, do you think that first ladies should pose in bathing suits where you can see more of their skin, their body? Or do you think because she's in that position, in that leadership role, she should not be posting pictures of herself in a bathing suit? So the comments were really, really interesting. I'll read some of those a little bit later. So that's my question. Should first ladies have every right to post pictures of themselves, styling and profiling in a bathing suit? Everybody else does it, but should they be held to a higher standard? Somebody will say, to whom much is given, much is required. So that's the question. All right. And so we just want to know your comments. And of course, we want you to call in and give us your comments.
Chris, hold up, First Lady, hold up. Higher standard? Tell me what am I missing? A higher standard, meaning what? Should first ladies be lifted to a higher standard and not posing in a swimsuit? Explain that to me.
Okay, so there are those that believe that, that's inappropriate, that you shouldn't be out there showing that much flesh, that much skin. There are those that believe that, you should be modest, especially, as a first lady, you're in a leadership position. And so, you got to be very careful what you do, because you have a certain level of influence. And so if you're out there posing in your bathing suit, then those that follow you can potentially, they be out there with all, showing what their mama gave them. So, that is a big thing. Sometimes first ladies are held to a higher standard of dress, what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. And so, some would say you shouldn't do it, and others.
Okay, so if you're going swimming, if you're going to the beach, first ladies, tell me, what are you supposed to wear? I just need to know what is the outfit? What is the outfit of choice?
So this is the thing. I don't necessarily think the issue was that she had on a bathing suit. I think the issue was that she posted it on Instagram. And she was out there, for the world to see. Yeah, without a cover up. So we'll get back to that, Sabrina. We're gonna get back to that. So okay, so I can see where you going.
Get to heaven for yourself. That's what I got to say.
What did you say? What did you say, Caterina?
I said, tell folks to mind their own business and get to heaven for themselves. That's the first thing. Okay, she got to work it out. Her husband must be okay with it. Okay.
Exactly. It said somebody posted, this woman is dressed more than fine for the occasion. I guess they would have preferred her to wear stockings with it. And then I love this. This person posted, she understood the assignment. Live, lady, live. Okay. So it's like she had a lot of people that was supporting her. Somebody said she looks amazing. Go ahead, sis. All of your hard work is paying off. She has on a bathing suit and she looks amazing. So, First Lady Gray, let me just say this. The majority of the comments I read, you have 100% support. But if you are listening, you think, nah, she shouldn't have posted that. We want to hear from you. Tell us what you think about it. Give us a call, 313-778-7600. And then I promise you, after this break, we're going to tackle some questions or some things you should know. You're listening to We Got Issues with the Force of Friendship, 9:10 a.m. The Superstation. We'll be right back. We're back. We're back. We're back. You're listening to 9:10 a.m. The Superstation with the Force of Friendship. We got issues, and boy, do we have some issues surrounded by first ladies in bathing suits and posting on Instagram. That's the question. Should they do it? Should they not? I told Sabrina and Caterina, I've taken many pictures in bathing suits, and I've been very careful, what to post, what not to post, because I just did not want to deal with the backlash, the criticism. So it's like, you know what? Sometimes just leave it alone if it's going to cause controversy. And there have been some pictures. I know I look great. I know I look fine, but I did not post it just because didn't want to hear the church folks say, I can't believe First Lady Ellis posted a picture of her in her bathing suit. So you know what? I took the road probably most traveled. I ain't posted it, so I didn't. So getting back to things you should know. So this is for all of our, well, I'm not just going to say our Michigan folks, but my question to the girlfriends, can you name all of the Great Lakes? Can you name the Great Lakes? And especially if you live in Michigan, you know what? You should be able to name the Great Lakes. So who wants to tackle that one? Who can name the Great Lakes? Okay. And let me just say this while you're thinking, the Great
Type in the chat,
Lakes,
y'all. Help us out.
They account for 1/5 of the world's water supply of surface fresh water. 1/5 of the entire world's surface fresh water. So maybe you don't know them all, but who wants to tackle? Who knows at least
Lake
one?
Erie.
Go ahead.
We live in Lake Erie. Lake Erie, Lake Erie. We live right on Lake Erie, and that is a huge lake. Oh my goodness. So I know that's one. And then there's Lake
Michigan.
Lake Michigan.
Okay.
Isn't the one
And
called the Great Lakes, the Grand Lakes?
No.
I'm going to flunk this one. Dietrich helped us. Huron.
Yeah. Somebody's putting it in the chat. So let me just tell you so
Ontario.
We can move on. So
I have no idea.
Well, you know what? We have, you're right, Lake Erie, Lake Michigan, Lake Superior, Lake Huron, and Lake Ontario. However, Lake Ontario is the only lake that doesn't touch Michigan. So even though it's a great lake, the lakes that touch Michigan is Lake Michigan, Lake Superior, Lake Huron, and Lake Erie, but Lake Ontario does not touch Michigan. Okay. And so now I'm going to ask a question, and then I'm going to let the girlfriends ask their question. Okay. So do you know the 3 branches of government? Everybody should know the 3 branches of government, especially Caterina Harris Earl, because that is, one of the things you studied in college. So what are the 3 branches of government? Caterina, I'm putting you on the spot.
Yep, because every day they try to get them to mingle together. There is the executive branch, there's a judicial branch, and there's a legislative branch. And I said that in my...
Well, if Michael was here, I'd give you a
big round. What was that voice? What was that Saturday cartoon dude who used to come on and say, teach us the stuff? But yeah, 3 branches of government, and they are not supposed to commingle, which is why folks is in trouble. Let's be clear. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And you guys, seriously, that is something that you absolutely need to know. So, Caterina, talk to us. Give us some of your questions that you have, some things that we just should know.
Do you think that there are any Black people that have blonde hair in the world that is not from European mixed? They don't have blonde hair because of European descent, meaning, does that question make sense? Do you think that there are any Black people with blonde hair in the world? And the answer is they're called Melanesians. The Melanesians are the Black Island people from the South Pacific, but they're descendants from Africa. The original inhabitants of the group of islands now named Melanesia. And it says that it can be linked to the exodus of modern humans from Africa 50,000 years ago. And so they're called Melanesians. And if you look them up, they have blonde hair, and it is not because of commingling with those of European descent. So somebody said,
really?
Just could see a sister with blonde hair. Don't mean so, Chris, it could be, you could have a help from a bottle. Listen. Or you could have some Melanesian in you.
Okay.
The Melanesian.
That's good. Melanesian. Okay. Got to look that one up. Sabrina, give us something that we should know.
Did you know, for all the bird watchers out there, and where Caterina lives in the San Francisco area, did you know it's illegal to feed pigeons on the sidewalks and streets of San Francisco? It is illegal to feed pigeons on the streets of San Francisco. So
No.
I had no idea.
So yeah, as y'all out there with them breadcrumbs and putting Cheetos out there. No. You cannot feed them, you guys. It is illegal and you can be fined a hefty fee. I'm talking a hefty fee. They say that it may seem harmless, but in the popular California city, you could get into trouble. San Francisco's Public Works Department explains this law is in place because there are dozens of reasons why you shouldn't feed your new pigeon friends. But mainly, feeding pigeons harms our neighborhoods and also harms the birds. So no more. And Kenny, my husband, he's forever throwing stuff out. Like if we're at an outdoor cafe, he's always feeding somebody. So yeah, did you know that?
Okay,
No idea.
okay, so-
I'm not surprised though.
Yeah. That's very interesting. So, if you love to feed birds, you just better not do it in San Francisco. Okay, so I'm going to tell you another one I think is important for you to know. And you know what, you guys, it is fun to have interesting facts. And sometimes, some things, they said there are things that everybody should know. There are things that you should know that you don't know that you know. And then there are things that you don't know, but you need to know. And so I just think that there are some things, like I said at the beginning of the show, there's some things you absolutely need to know. And this is one that, depending on what group of people you are in, you just want to be that person that can jump from this subject to that subject. Don't mean that you're going to be the expert, but it shouldn't be something that just totally goes over your head. Now, of course, you're not going to be in a room of aviators and you know everything about airplanes, but there's some basic general information that shouldn't just go over your head. Like, how many continents are there? How many continents are there? How many of you can name? And the thing is, we have traveled to most. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Sabrina said there are 7. Mm-hmm. All right, Sabrina, since you said 7, name them.
Look, I gave you the numbers. Somebody else's job.
I drew.
Caterina, go.
Okay, but this is my question. And this is, somebody help me out. Is Europe and Asia considered 2 separate continents because there's connected?
Yeah.
I know that's a stupid question. So that's considered 2 separate ones, even though
and
they're connected.
8.
Okay.
It's actually 8. So name them.
Really?
So North America and South America, that's considered 2 separate continents. 2. Okay. Europe and Asia.
Okay.
Antarctica and what's at the bottom? Greenland, Antarctica, South Arctica, South and North.
No.
Well, you got 5, Caterina. Where is
Africa?
6.
Sydney. Somebody type in the chat.
Sydney. Where's Sydney? Sydney.
I said Australia. Africa and Australia. I said that.
Okay. All right. And I think
Antarctica is one.
Yeah. So that's all 8. And you know what, you guys, the easiest thing is remember that 1, 2, 3, 4 of them start with an A. So you got Asia, Africa, Antarctica, Australia, and then that's easy. Then you have North and South America, and then you have Europe. Okay, so those are all of the continents. So that's just information that I think is important to know. Who wants to give us a couple of more before we go to the break?
Okay, mine is quick. I got one about a watermelon. Now, I have to check it on YouTube because everything you see on TikTok, you take a broom straw, like the thin part of a broom straw, and you set it on the watermelon, and so the watermelon is going this way, and you set the broom straw the perpendicular way, and that bad boy will move straight if the watermelon is ripe. Now, you know what? I was like, okay, I don't know what kind of little situation is going up in here, but I went and looked it up on YouTube, and there's a whole bunch of videos about it. So, we had to try it out.
Are you serious? So go take one of the strands from your broom to the grocery store And when you are interested in getting a watermelon,
and look
set
like
it
a
on the
fool,
watermelon.
and look like a fool, and look like a fool. Okay, that's what you do. Okay.
Well, you know what? Let me tell you something. I will look like a fool if I can get a sweet watermelon, because I love
like a good one.
sweet watermelon. Okay. Okay, I hear the music. I hear the music. This is too much fun, you guys. On a Friday. This is Fun Friday. You're listening to We Got Issues with the Force of Friendship. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to, again, tell you some things or ask you some questions of things you should know. Give us a call and tell us some things that we may not know that maybe we should know. 313-778-7600. We'll be right back. We're back. We're back from our last break, and we're just hanging out, having a good time on this Fun Friday. We're talking things that you should know. And you know what? Let me just make a correction before I get posted on Instagram. There are only 7 continents. Sabrina was absolutely right, and I was absolutely wrong. Hey, I can take my medicine. Correct me, because I ain't trying to be at no dinner party talking about it's 8 continents and they're waiting for me to name the 8th one. Okay. So yeah, there are only 7 continents. So you're right, Sabrina.
Okay.
Exactly. Hey, you guys. We have a caller, PG. She want to sound in on the First Lady and her baby and her bathing suit. PG, are you there? Talk to us.
Yes, I am. Can you hear me? We can hear you. Thank you for calling. We got issues. Well, I think that the first lady wearing a swimming suit is not out of the norm. I agree with one of the queens there that if you are at the beach, you would want to have on a swimming suit. Now, if people don't have a problem with her going to the gym, working out in leggings, why would they have a problem with her going to the beach with a swimsuit on? Well, they probably don't have a problem that for her pastor husband or her husband legal in the eyes of the Lord that she might wear lingerie for him. People need to just stay out of the personal lives, and if it's nothing that would damage her character, meaning being lascivious, being an alcoholic, doing drugs, being a kleptomaniac. I mean, she's human. She's not expected to be perfect, and people need to stop that. But did you ladies know that the city of Novi got their name because a number 6 train used to go through that area? No, I didn't know that. Well, I just thought I would give you some history. I love you ladies. When you're laughing, man, you have me laughing. I get my laugh medicine for today. And if my cheeks, you don't get a cramp, one of you ladies are going to pay for it. Because I get so hard. This energy is just so good. And my goodness gracious, you might want to just try to get some of the ladies to call to some of the shows in the morning and just kind of counsel them over the air about that negative, toxic energy, that black woman syndrome. And, here's the latest for me. A lady called in because I thought I was doing a good thing. You pray for people. You pray for people that you don't know. And she called into the radio and said, I don't need PG to pray for me with her silver fox, or he's a gray wolf. I got me a tall black man. And then I just called back and I said, thank you for getting that out. I'm honored and humbled that when you go to bed with your tall black man, that you're allowing me and my white silver fox to occupy space in your mind rent free. And maybe we should go to lunch. I'll treat you. Because again, you sat down and had some tea with me, like my daddy used to say, something to eat, you probably love me. Just like most people do. So I would love for your energy to just be all over the place. Because it's great. It's great. I'm fourth or fifth so much. I love you, ladies. We love you too, ZZ. And thank you for your positive energy, and thank you for making your point here. Oh, we got issues. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. And you know what, PC? Somebody wrote...
what were they expecting her to wear? An ankle-length skirt? Give me a break. And then somebody else wrote, it's no more inappropriate than her husband's extramarital affairs. Wear your blank bathing suit in peace, sis. So I'm gonna tell you, you had so many, people supporting her, and I would add that she looked really fabulous in her bathing suit. And I mean, it wasn't a 2-piece bathing suit; it just had a little bit of cutout on the side, but. Again, to each his own. I think, sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine. Go ahead, Caterina.
Her husband, after what Pastor Gray just went through, I didn't realize that's who we were talking about. But after what he just went through, and the fact that if he moved 1 second to the right or the left, he would have died. I mean, literally, he is a walking miracle right about now. Nobody should be even talking about it. I would be praised and I'd be running all up and down with a bathing suit on. Just, leave her alone. Leave it alone.
Yeah. Anybody else have any comments? I don't know if we have any in the comment section, but again, I just think, first ladies are held to a higher standard sometime, and what's good that other people can post. And you know what? Sometimes, when you post, it inspires. You look at her and say, wow,
Chris, that higher standard bothers me. It really does. I mean, first ladies are women, they're mothers, they're citizens, they're educators, they're pastors' wives, they're amazing people, they're women. But I mean, they bleed like everybody else bleeds. They go to the bathroom just like everybody else goes to the bathroom. And I understand that you're a role model. For sure, you have a flock that looks to you, but that's every God-fearing woman in the world should want to have a standard that somebody looks to, right? And so I think it's unfair that first ladies are held to this standard where they cannot wear a bathing suit. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. Now, I mean, do all due respect. I mean, Crisette is the first lady. Caterina's the first lady. Obviously, I'm not a first lady for a reason. Okay, God did not choose me to be a first lady. but I'm gonna tell you, that higher standard. No, I think people should have a standard that is pleasing to God. Period. Whether you're a first lady or a fifth lady, there should be a standard that every woman should rise to, and man. So they need to take those first ladies off their pedestal like that, and give them that unfair scrutiny. Take that off of them. Mind your business,
Yeah.
ministries, job available. Yeah, mind your business. Okay.
Patrice said they are women first. This pertains to anyone in a position of leadership. And I guess, I looked at the picture and it wasn't offensive to me. I don't think, she was living her life, having a good time. And you know what? These positions of leadership, whether it's first lady or CEO or being a mother, being a wife, can be stressful. And if you want to take a picture and it's appropriate, why not? Live and let live, as long as it isn't something that, and everybody has their own relationship with God, right? And so, maybe it's something you wouldn't do. So if you wouldn't do it, she shouldn't be held to your standard. And sometimes that's where the problem is, because you don't look good in a bathing suit and you would never be out there posted. Then you look at somebody else, and sometimes it's not about the standard, it's about envy and jealousy. And that's another entire show that we need to tackle, envy and jealousy. As they say, envy is as cruel as the grave. Well, you guys, I hear the music in the background. This hour goes by so fast. And I'm telling you, we just don't sometimes have enough time. But we're glad that you hung out with us on this Friday. We hope you have an amazing weekend. And we hope that you do something that brings you joy, that brings you laughter. You've been listening to The Force of Friendship on We Got Issues. And we will be back, same place, same station, on Monday. Have a terrific weekend. God bless. Peace out.